Hello friends. Today I have come with a beautiful poem in English, The Ant and the Cricket. And through this poem, we are going to learn many things, right? So let's move ahead. Okay, this is exactly how the poem is given in your books. Okay, the entire idea about the ant and the cricket. Okay. Let us have a short introduction about what exactly this poem is all about. So when I talk of the poem is a fable, right? When I say a fable, what does it mean? Now, a fable means a traditional story that has a moral to teach us at the end. That means it is a poem which is in a very story-like form. That means there is a dialogue between the characters, and in the end, what we get is we get to learn about that something about life from this. That is a moral. And always the characters are usually animals. So in a very good way, because children always love animals. So when animals are teaching us something, it becomes better for the students to learn. So yes, through the medium of animals, fable teaches us many things, especially a moral which we can take home with us and actually apply it into our life. Aesop's fables are very well known because of the moral that one learns at the end in a very playful way. So Aesop's fables teach us many things in a very playful way. So that becomes very, very easy for us to understand. So this is exactly a fable, the ant and the cricket. Now we are moving ahead. Okay. Yes. So let us know what is the theme of this poem, right? What is the central idea behind this particular poem? When I'm talking about this poem, in this poem, with the help of the cricket, what we are getting is, yes, there's a cricket and the ant. So we have two animals, or should I say two insects. Through the help of the cricket and the ant, we are taught the importance of being industrious. Now, what does industrious mean? To be hardworking, to work really hard. It tells us that hard work will never harm anyone. It is never bad to work hard, and it always instead helps us out of difficult situations. So any difficult situation we have, any tricky situation, our hard work will always help us to come out of it. And in this particular fable or the poem, the comparison that is done between the ant and the cricket is very beautifully brought about, where we can actually understand and learn about this particular idea about hard work, or how it is important to be industrious, right? Yes. So this is the first stanza that we are having. A silly young cricket accustomed to sing. So they have already started telling us that the cricket is a silly young thing who is accustomed, used to sing through the warm sunny months of May, summer and spring. Began to complain when he found that at home his cupboard was empty and winter was come. Right. So well, let's try to understand what they're trying to tell us. Okay. I'm trying to explain to you the situation here. Right. Okay. So when I'm talking about that, this tells us about a lazy and a carefree cricket. So he was a carefree cricket. He did not have a care in the world, and he was very, very lazy, who spent his entire summer gaily singing away without a care in the world. So he was happily singing away the entire summer and even spring. Winter was just a few days away, but he did not bother at all. He did not bother that winter was just a few days away. He did not know, or he probably forgot, that soon he would be cold and hungry and have nothing to eat. And just when winter was few days away, he realized that his cupboard was empty and there was nothing to eat. And that is the time when he started complaining, right? That is the time when he started getting really worried. Yes. That is about the first stanza. Now let us talk about the second stanza. Not a crumb to be found on the snow-covered ground, Not a flower could he see, not a leaf on a tree. Oh, what will become, says the cricket, of me? So here they are actually explaining the entire winter. Winter is absolutely when everything is bare and white all around. So the sorry state of it has been explained. So let me explain it in detail. Now that winter had arrived, right? So we know that winter had arrived. Everything outside was white and frozen, and he had not saved a crumb of food for himself because he was busy singing gaily the entire summer and spring. That was the time when food was available outside. There was the leaves on the trees, so everything was there ready for him. But he was so busy gaily singing that he did not bother about the approaching winter. And now that winter had come, they have explained beautifully the scene outside. Everything is covered with snow. Everything is white and frozen. There's not a leaf on the tree. The leaves are also, trees are also very bare. And he had nothing with him, right? Nothing with him. And he was hungry now. And he was worried too. Now, what am I going to do the entire winter? Am I going to starve? Oh my God, what will I do? He was worried. Yes. And go on to the next stanza. At last, by starvation and famine made bold, all dripping with wet and all trembling with cold, away he set off to a miserly ant. So here comes our next character of the poem, the ant, to see if, to keep him alive, he would grant. So let me give you an explanation of this? Yes. So now he was hungry and he was starving, and all his cupboard was all bare, right? He was nothing he could that he had with him now. He was hungry and starving. He knew he would soon die if he did not have anything to eat, because the entire summer, instead of hoarding food, instead of keeping food in his house, what he did was he was only singing. Now his cupboard was empty and he was starving to death. Now, this death, the fact that he was going to die, made him bold. Now, he knew he has to make himself bold to go and ask somebody, beg for food, so that he can stay alive. It made him bold enough to go to a miserly ant. Here, the term adjective miserly has been used because the ant is always working and hoarding food. If you ever see an ant, you will always see they will be busy. If you see a small crumb, even if it's a crystal of sugar, you will see soon ants coming there and carrying that crystal away and holding it in their homes. So they are called miserly because they tend to hoard things, right? To ask for some food. So he thought, why don't I ask the ant for some food? Okay. The ant was miserly, it is given here, as he worked hard to save food for the winter. So in his house, he was having food and he was constantly hoarding the food. So that term as miserly has been given to the ant. Right. Now we'll go to the next stanza. To ask from him shelter from the rain and a mouthful of grain, he wished only to borrow. So he's saying he just needed a little shelter because during winters too, you get something called a sleet. There is snow and some amount of rain. So that can also make you very, very wet. It's all wet and cold and freezing outside. And he just wanted a mouthful of grain. This was what he wanted to borrow. He'd repay it tomorrow. If not, he would die of starvation and sorrow. So let us go for the explanation. So he decided, let me ask and beg this particular miserly ant for some food, just a little shelter from the rain, right? And also some grain of food to keep him alive. And he promised him that he would return it back to the ant. So he said, I will return it tomorrow. I'm not going to keep it. Okay. So I'm going to return it back to you. Don't you worry. But today I need this shelter from the rain because it was all wet and dripping because he ventured out of his house in that cold winter to reach to the ant so that he could ask for some food for himself. Yes. Next comes the last part of the poem, which is the best part, I would say, where really a large amount, a lot of moral is there for you to understand and also to remember that you need to learn and pick up something from this. What did the ant do? Did the ant help him? Did he give him that grain of food? Let us see. The ant told the cricket that ants never borrow, nor do they lend. So he was a little of had a little amount of ego. He said, I do not, we ants, never do we borrow, nor do we lend. We do not take from anybody, nor do we give to anybody. He called himself his servant and friend. He said, I'm your servant. I'm always at your service. I'm ready to help you. I'm your friend. Okay. Then he asked the cricket whether had he not saved anything for the summer, in the summer, for the winter? Did you not keep anything in summer? The cricket replied, no, I did not. And he proudly said that his heart was so happy during the summer that he sang away the whole of summer. So this was the answer given by the cricket, that no, I did not save anything. I was so happy, my heart was so happy and gay that I was singing the entire summer away. Right. Now this would have really, made the ant a little angry, definitely, because the ant was toiling away the entire summer, right, and spring too, to save something for himself. Yes. So what did he do? The ant then told him to go away. He told him, go away. Though I am your servant, I am at your service, I am your friend, right? I neither borrow nor do I lend, but now I cannot help you at all. And he turned the cricket out of the door. He told him, please leave my place. I'm not going to help you. He said, you danced away the entire summer, right? Now you dance the winter away too. This is what you have done. You have not realized that it is foolishness to just while away your time when the time was actually a time to save food, right? Which the ant had done. Right? And he said, always make hay while the sun shines. This is a beautiful parable, I can say, or a saying that we have. So when the time is right, you should always do the right things. If you leave it for another time, thinking that, no, there's still time, nothing will be achieved. So this is the story of the lazy two-legged cricket. Generally, crickets we know, as we see outside, are four-legged, right? But here, this is a way of telling that this is a parable, it's a fable, right? So the characters have also been given almost like a human kind of a form. So this is a two-legged cricket that we are seeing in this particular poem, but he was a lazy one who never knew the importance of, industrious, or to being industrious, or to be hardworking. Yes. So now, what have we learned from this? Now the poem is done, right? We have seen what happened to the cricket, and also what happened to the how the ant also behaved with it. Now let us see what we get to learn from this. We always say that all work and no play make Jack a dull boy. Yes, this is a saying. We always say all work and no play. If you're only working, and not giving some leisure time for yourself, makes you a dull person, right? You become very dull. But we have to remember one more thing, that we have to know how we can strike a balance between work and play. It should not be only all work, and it should not be only all play, right? When we have to work, we have to work. When we have to play, we have to play. Even for students, when it is a time to study, you all have to study. And when some amount of leisure time you should take, where you should be playing also, yes. So always remember, learn to strike a balance between work and play, right? We know that work comes before play, always. We have to always remember that work always takes an upper hand over play, especially even students, adults, everyone. And this is something which the ant knew very well. And he thought that if I give the grain to the cricket today, he will not learn anything from this. So this was a very wise ant too, because if he would have helped him out today by giving him the grain, right, and fill his stomach, the grasshopper would never have learned his lesson, right? So what do we learn? One should be industrious and hardworking like the ant. The ant did not while away his time, so could survive the harsh winters very easily. But the cricket sang and was merry the whole of summer. So he could not save anything for the winter, and so he starved. So we should always be prepared for anything in the future. Always remember, we don't know what the future holds for us. So what we have with us is today, and we should make the most of what we have today. Work hard, do take time out to play as well. So work hard and play too. Hope it was interesting for you. Thank you so much. I hope you are taking back something from this particular explanation and this video. Okay, so till we meet again, bye bye.